Thank you, Alison, for the introduction. So I'm very glad to be here with you today. I will be mainly presenting you live demo about how we build next generation apps for our customers and how you can build it yourself the minute after this webinar. So I won't be displaying too much slides, just a very quick introduction for all of you. At Aquafadas, we are first of all a software publisher. We are providing tools to enable digital enriched content creation and dissemination through mobile devices as well as computers and web channels. What we will be focusing during this webinar, which will be 30 minutes long approximately, we will be focusing on how you can modify and configure yourself your own app with a very simple web interface. You will see that the beauty of a solution is that you can not only design a very rich quality app, but you don't need any developer, you don't need to be developing any line of code, and you won't be needing at any time to build or rebuild your app, as well as submit it to Apple stores or Android market stores. You will see that you have a full control of your content within your app. You will see that it is very easy to modify and build your app with a simple drag and drop web interface. We will see it in action in a few minutes. And the goal of this tool is to provide you with components that you can drag and drop on top of what we call a store model. The store model is mainly the page of the content that is displayed within the native app. You will be able this way to drag and drop components like banners for pictures, banners to highlight some specific content that you can have, whatever it is, because we work in a traditional publishing space, so press publishers, as well as corporate markets, so you can publish sales and marketing documents, as well as magazines, newspapers, whatever you want with our tools. You will be able as well to add videos, web views, Html5 web views, slideshows or carousels, and you will be designing your own way to navigate through your app for your consumers or customers. So let's start now the live demo and start the presentation itself. We will be using two interfaces. The first one will be my iPad. So for this purpose, I'm going to use my QuickTime, which just disappeared. So don't worry, I will relaunch it immediately so that you can see my iPad on the screen. So let me record it so that you can see my iPad. Okay. So now you should be able to see my iPad. Sorry, this is my iTunes connecting as well. First of all, let me show you some of our customers' great next-gen apps that they built with our tools. This is giving you some samples. So for that purpose, I already launched some of these apps. And let me use, for instance, our mother company app. First of all, what you see is a container, so the app itself, which can start with whatever content you want to place inside your app. Again, remember that you'll be fully in control of this content. What you see is a top bar with a menu on the left, which will be giving you access to your sections. You have also a search option, which can help you to find any text, plain text search. This is a plain text search for all your documents. And not only your documents, which will be stored on your local iPad, but as well as all the documents you will have been storing and publishing for our web interface and solution to your hosting servers or our own hosting servers. Then you see also a bottom bar where you will see four main entries. The first one is naturally the one we start with, which is Rakuten Corporate in this case. The second one is an access to all the contents that your consumer or your customer will have already downloaded from this app. The third one is a direct access to a specific section of your website. It could be a blog site, like in this case, could be your homepage for your main website. And the last tab is also a way to authenticate your users, so that if you want to restrict the content within this app to specific users, you can do that with that authentication mechanism, which, I'm sorry, is in French in that case, but can be multilingual for sure. You can also see utiliser a code, which means use a code in the middle. That means that you can also give a specific access at any time to a specific customer to confidential documents with a code. So let's go back now to the focus of this webinar, which is how you can manage this content that you see within the app. So what you see there is an assembly of what we call banners, like on a website. You can create these banners yourself because you're in charge of creating the content, which means the visual components as well, like these banner images. And these banners, in this case, for this app, are a way to segment and categorize your content. You see different departments at Rakuten, including the vision, and some animations like this one. This is a carousel or a slideshow banner that you see now. You have also quick links to the main website. And once you get into, for instance, the corporate banner, when you tap on it, you can see the content which has been categorized in that banner only. So you can see, in that case, only videos. You can see also word map, sorry. And what you see at the end is also an HTML5 component, which is simply a web view to whatever you want. That could be embedded into the app, or could be a web view to one of your HTML5 application. So this can be, in that case, dynamic, and you can have some interactions with a consumer through such HTML5 component. So this is a sample of the app. Naturally, what I forgot to say is that we give you the tools to modify that not only on iOS, because I'm using an iPad for the purpose of this webinar, but it works the same way on Android, and we provide updates for sure of the apps against the new versions of mobile operating systems. Let me show you some other quick example before I show you how it works. This is another one where, for instance, in that case, this is a multilingual application. I can switch to a second language. You can see again that principle of banners which segregate your content. You can see documents at the end. This is a section where you can see thumbnails of your documents. Again, that could be any kind of document, starting from PDF that you already have to enriched and interactive documents you could create as well with our solution and Adobe InDesign plugin, for instance. So this is another example. When you click again on a banner, you'll get to another section. So this is what we call nested levels, and we went to a second level of the app. Let me show you again another example. This is for another corporate customer where you can see magazines. So this is for internal communications. You see a different view, which is a grid view of all their content. You can have as well, let me show you another book publisher library. Like this one, where you have banners like this one, which shows strategy web, means web strategy, web design, and you will find books that you can buy in digital format within these banners and sections that you find again in the menu on the left side. And last but not the least, I will be now showing you another sample, which is in that case showing the way you could merge as well your banners to give, let's say, like a homepage, a web homepage user experience, because you can see that we have banners which fits together and give a whole image, full page presentation. So in that case, you don't see really the segmentation of the banners. It's really up to you, because again, we provide you with the tools and you are fully in control of the content you want to show inside. So let me show you now how it works, now that you have seen some nice samples. And for this purpose, I'm going to use another app that we created for a customer. So I'm using this one. This app was created for an operator in communication, satellite communications equipment. So you can see that we have a video starting at the top of the page. You can see as well then banners, smaller banners, which represent categories of content, so categories of their main brochures and content that they segmented this way. Then you see what we call a spotlight view. That means that we are focusing on a specific brochure or marketing sales presentation. And you can read it from this button. You can have also a list view below, where you see all the rest of the documents and some of the nice components like a world map of their installations. So let's modify this app now together during this webinar. And for this, I'm going to use now the second screen, which is our web interface, so that you can modify the app you just have seen. This interface is an interface to one of our two main solutions. At Aquafadas, we provide you with two main solutions. The first one is what we call Aquafadas Cloud Offering, which is giving you the way to create your own content, enrich it, add interactivities to it, on top of a PDF, on top of XML structured content, as well as on top of Adobe InDesign rich layout design documents. This is cloud offering. We are not going to speak of this solution today. We are going to speak of a second one, which is Cloud Connect, which I'm connecting now to. Cloud Connect is in charge of managing all the distribution of your content, digital contents. Once you create it and transform it to a digital package, it has to be distributed to multiple channels, mobile apps, which includes smartphones, phablets, tablets, apps, native apps, as well as web apps. For the desktop purpose, we also now have native desktop applications for Windows and Mac OS X. So you can use any of them to distribute your content. And Cloud Connect, that you see now in front of my screen, is a way to manage which content you want to distribute to which apps, but also the way to configure the apps themselves. So I'm going to now select and get down to the app that I showed you just before, the Marlink customer sample app. So you can see all the apps that are accessible for my account. So I'm going to use the Marlink one now. Once you select the app, you can see that it has been built for Amazon and iOS. We can now select what we call a store model. Remember, the store model is the layout of these components that you have seen like banners on top of each other. And this store model, we have only one for Marlink, but you can have multiple ones because you can also nest your store models with among all of them. That means that you can create a second, third, fourth level of navigation within your apps. You just have to nest your store models within the others. So you can see now how it was built, the app that you have seen. Remember that this is the app you see now. You see the video, you see the sections like banners. And if you come back there, you can see the video component at the top. You can see also some of the carousels that we have just before the different banners, which are the content sections. And once you click on a component, you see the edit window on the right side, which gives you all the parameters of these components. Now let's start by creating new components so that you see how you start a new application. We will be using this one for sure as a basis, but I can now add banners and I can also change the order of these banners. So let me start with a very simple one, let's say an image banner, because I want to show some information. It could be whatever you want, a picture of your own, so you can promote, for instance, a special event, a special product, everything you already create within your marketing department, every visual element you create can be reused for the purpose of this app. So once you add it, and you can see that it's very easy, you simply select the component on the right side and you drag and drop it to the left side. And once you drag and drop it, you can select placeholders like I did. You can see these placeholders there. But once you do that, you can also change the order with these arrows. I can put it down after the video or put it up again with these arrows. I can also remove it very easily. So let me now select this new banner that I created. And now we have to select a few parameters to make some actions with it. We propose for this kind of component 3 actions. First one is to navigate, once you click on this banner, to a specific content. That means a specific document, could be again a specific brochure, marketing or sales presentation, could be also a magazine or newspaper issue, whatever you want. And then you select simply the issue you have. Because under your account, you will see all the publications that you created with the other tool, which is Cloud Offering. So you can select any of them which is available to push with that banner a focus on that content. In my case, I'm going to use a second one, which is a way to navigate more to a publication view, which we call a title view as well. That means you can have several issues or versions of your content within a title view. That could be as well, for instance, a specific sales presentation within which you can find different variations of your presentations or subsets of your presentation. Again, you can build whatever combination you want. Then you simply have to select, in that case, your publication. So in my case, I'm going to use one of our own content, which is the Wave magazine publication. Then you can apply some of the parameters like sticky, which means you want to keep it at the top of the storefront. And even if you scroll down, you still be maintaining this banner at the top so that you can see it all the time. You can also hide it in case you wanted to pre-create this component so that it's ready for the day you want to activate it. So you don't have anything else than unnotching the hidden tag the day you want to activate it. You can select a background color, and you can also select something which is quite important, which is an alternative image, again, so that you can use that picture once you're not connected to the internet. Remember that one of the main advantages of native apps versus web pages are the fact that you can store offline your content within the app. So this is the same principle for these banners. You can have an alternative picture so that when you don't get the connection to internet, you can see at least the banner. This is also the visual material for the banner itself. So in that case, I'm going to use, let me check which one I'm going to use. Maybe this one. Yeah. So this is one banner which is extracted out of our website. So I'm selecting it and uploading it through this interface to our Cloud Connect interface. I can add a parallax effect as well, which is nice for pictures. And then comes the size in pixels for your banner, which can depend if you're on a smartphone, phablet, or tablet. I'm going to use the standard predefined size, which we generally recommend, unless you want it smaller or larger. It's really up to you. You can change it. The last choice, which I didn't expose, was the way also to navigate not only to a specific document or a specific publication, but also a way to combine whatever sorts of documents into what we call categories. And categories can be set up on the left side of the screen in the left menu column. We will see that a bit later. So let me now save that modification. So again, we added that banner at the top, and I'm simply now going to open again my application. So let me switch to my iPad again. Because I was already running the app, and because this is not a dynamic web banner like we are going to see in a minute, in that case, we are not changing the content behind the scene for the user, which is usually not permitted. So that's why I had, for the purpose of this demo, to quit and relaunch the app. So you can see that we have that new banner now at the top, on top of the video. So all the rest of the app is there. You can see that this banner is sticking at the top, like I notched it. So this was applied immediately after the save. And that means that you're immediately updating your content within your apps for all your consumers or customers using this app at this moment. So this is real-time updating of your app content, and you don't need to, as you could see, you don't need to develop any line of code. You don't need to build again the app and submit it to Apple or Android markets. It's very simple to modify within your app any of these banners. If I click, oops, maybe I made a mistake. Yeah. Maybe I didn't select the right title, sorry. But if I click there, I should have selected the Wave magazine. This is probably because I'm using another account. So let me switch it immediately to, I think, yeah, I can use Marlink publication. That should be better for the Marlink account, because I think he has no access to our Wave magazine, which is a pure Aquafadas account. So again, I saved it. As you could see, I changed the parameter. And again, I can go to my application, launch it again, and again, if I click there, now I have the right collection of titles, because this is Marlink's collections of publications. So this is a very easy way, as you can see, to modify at any time the parameters of your apps and the content of your apps. So let me now go back and show you the other components that you can create with this interface. So let me remove that banner and select another component. So after the banner, you have a spotlight. Spotlight is a way to focus on a specific document. That means maybe I have a sample in my presentation. Let me switch again to my iPad. And I think, yeah, that if I go to any of these, yeah, what you see there is a spotlight view at the top. That means that I can have details on a specific document that I want the user to read once he will click on that banner. Again, this is a way to navigate your consumer to a specific document with more information and more display of the content. And then the user can download it or read it if it was already downloaded. So this is one way to make it. Another good component is we have two components rather similar, which are list and grid components. This component enables you to show a complete list of issues or publications you have within your account. So let me show you that list component. I click there, and then I can give it a name. So list component. And then again, I have different choices. You can see that in that case, I don't have any more the choice to display a specific issue, because we are in a list of issues or a list of publications for your specific content. So in that case, I'm going to use again the Marlink sample. So let me use this one. Again, you have the same parameters. You have hidden background column, but in that case, you have also additional parameters, like the number of items you want to select. Let me select, for instance, 7. And if you get more publications than the maximum number of items, you can add a See All button. And again, you can save this new component. And I will show you again my iPad and relaunch my application now. Okay. So what you see now is a list of issues. We can see 6 of these issues. That means that if I scroll on the right, and maybe I have only six publications for this account, that's why the 7 limit is not accurate in that case. You can see as well this red notch under some of the publications. That means that I already downloaded these publications within the app. Again, the goal of this Cloud Connect solution is to enable the best way to navigate to your content. We are not, again, displaying today how you create that content. That will be the case for another webinar, or you can have a look at the current webinars already stored on our website. But in that case, we are just managing the content of this app. So let me come back again and show you some other components. After the list, you have other components. So let me select one which is very heavily used by our customers, the HTML5 banner. This one enables you to select a URL. So let me select our websites in that case. Yep. And put my URL there. So you can select whatever URL you want. It could be a specific microsite, a specific page within your website. And then you can say if you want to display it within the banner or in a new window. So if I click on a banner, that means that you will be scrolling down your website through that banner. So that's quite efficient if you create microsites for some specific events or products launch, and that you create the right format that can be reused between your website, micro website, and this app. In that case, you don't have anything else to do than creating this material, this web page, and then you can update it anytime, because at the opposite of the components, of the elements that we drag and drop, anything which will be displayed there will be for sure dynamic. So if you update your website, again, that will be updated real time in the app. Again, I can put it sticky. I can put an alternative image in case I don't have access to the internet. Let me use again my Aquafadas banner in that case. And you can give, and I'm gonna use maybe a larger banner for this purpose, because I'm displaying again the website within the banner. So if we come back again to our app and relaunch it, you can see now that we have a larger banner, and we should see now the website content appearing there. So the video will be launching in a second just below. I can scroll down as well, as usual, and I can scroll within my website and navigate through my website, or get access immediately to the complete website. So that was very easy to create that component. Let me show you another grid component before we will close the webinar, so that you see some variations of a component. For sure, you can have also video components. You remember that we have one in the app I'm using. So if I click on a video, you can see in the parameters that you can either host your video and stream it from your servers or infrastructures or CDN networks, or you can use YouTube. Right? And if you use YouTube, you just need to use the URL, which is the embedded shared link that you get with any YouTube video. Then again, you can play in a banner or in a new window. You can also allow the user to control the video or not, autoplay it or not, loop the video or not. So all the main video standards controls are there within the app by simply selecting this component. So I told you we are going to finish with one other component which is quite efficient as well, which is the featured item component, which is a way to combine several of these components together in a carousel banner. And before I get to there, you can see that we have also a subscription banner if you want to enable people to subscribe to your publication. Again, this is heavily used in press industry, but could be used the same way to subscribe to publications, documents within your corporate company. And store model, finally, is a way to jump to another store model. So you can create a second level, and in this second level of store model, you can build again another interface. So you can see that you can nest store models together. You just have to drag and drop this component, which is over there. But let me use, to close that webinar so that I don't take too much of your time, let me use the featured item that I'm going to put there. I think, yeah, I didn't put it at the top, so I can move it up so that you see it immediately when we launch the app. And in that case, I'm gonna select what we call in that case a featured item. So a featured item, if I get there, is a way to combine several elements together, which is something I already prepared for you for the purpose of this webinar so that we don't take too much time. But it's very easy. You create a featured item entry, then you can add an entry, and within this entry, you can select either a URL, so a web link, a video, another category to display a combination of your documents, a specific issue or publication document that you have, an AV document, which is an enriched, highly interactive document created with our cloud offering tools. And then you simply select the order of this component the same way. You can also say that this content will be displayed at a specific date and time and will expire at a specific date and time. So let me remove this one, save the modification, so that we can reuse it in our store model. So this is a way you can combine different elements together. And you can see that this element now appears at the top. Again, I can make it sticky if I want. What else? I can hide it, give again the size, and that's it. I just save it, and again, finish on my iPad and see how it looks like. So in that banner, you don't see that, but we have 3 dots at the middle. You can see that we created a carousel, which is combining 3 different components. One which is, and we are going to look back on this one, that's the one where we have an access to our website in a full window pop-up. The second one was a link to a video of a YouTube. So I'm not gonna wait for the YouTube video to download now because we are short on time. And finally, a spotlight view on a specific document that you can use and again read within this interface. And now you get specifically to that document, so your content now, which has been displayed on that document. So this is a rich document created with cloud offering as well. So I think you got the concept. This is quite easy to build, design, and create your own app with a few clicks over your Cloud Connect interface. So again, the goal is to give you several components, like you can see on this view, and you just select them, you drag and drop them, you just configure them with your own parameters. You can assemble them, you can hide them, you can change the order. And once you do that, you save, and immediately after, the new content of your app is available to all the consumers, all the customers using your apps. Again, without the need for a single rebuild or submission to an Apple Store or Android Market Store. And we have the same concept, which is coming shortly for the web kiosk, so the web part of it for desktop computers, because what I showed you is mainly available for iOS and Android today, smartphones and tablets and phablets. But we have the same concept for our native apps on Windows, Mac OS X, as well as the web app, which is a web kiosk. That will be coming shortly. This is already developed and we are testing it at the moment. So I think I'm done. Alison, if you want to take the control again and let me know if we have any questions now from our audience.
Yes, we have some questions. So I just remind you that you can write your question in the panel of GoToWebinar. So the first question is about the hosting of each application. Do we charge to host each app for as long as it is available?
No, we have a pricing which is an annual license business model. That means that you buy an app which will be cross-platform. A next-gen app is coming automatically in iOS and Android format. even Amazon, but not for next-gen composition of your assembly. But if you want to create apps for Amazon, you can do that as well. So the app is cross-platform. And once you get the app, we have a business model where you purchase, depending on the number of publications you do within the app per year. So we start from 6,000 euros for 12 publications within the app in a year, up to 25K euros a year if you want to publish unlimited number of documents or publications and issues within this app.
Okay, we have another question about HTML element you could use as a banner. Is that possible to have a Google Maps in order to interact with the device's GPS and show on that banner your geographic position?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Yes, you can integrate any HTML page that you can already run on your device. That means if you have an iOS device like an iPad or an iPhone, and that you can run any HTML page in Safari, for instance, if you can run it in Safari, that will run in that banner. The same for Android if it runs on Firefox or Google Chrome, and the same as well for iOS for sure, because that does exist on all platforms. It will run in our banner because we are displaying really your HTML pages. So as far as they are compliant to the device with web browser engines that are supported on this device, it will run on the device.
Okay, a question about how to receive our pricing.
You mean sending after this presentation the pricing?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for this purpose, we prefer that you get in touch with us. We don't send out the quotes and pricing. We have two models. First of all, if you're in France, we have a direct sales force and team. So that means that you can get in touch with us, and we would be glad to meet with you and show you the pricing and adapt it to your specific requirements. If you're abroad, in any other country, we have a bunch of partners in almost any country, which are managed by our sales biz dev team in Montpellier. And in that case, that's the same. We prefer that you get in touch with a sales director of international business, and then he will give you the name of the right partner for your country and give you as well the pricing for your country.
A question about example. Can we get screenshot of some of the store examples shown in the presentation to help us as we design our store?
Yes, that's a good question. I'm not sure if I have some of them, because you will be receiving after this webinar that presentation, which is a summary. You can see some of the screenshots which are already part of this, not the one I showed you, but if you want specific ones, you can get, by the way, for some of them, you can get to the App Store, Android Market Store, and get some of the apps of our customers. For that purpose, I can show you very quickly our website. On our website, you can see all our clients, and you can also find this way all the apps which were built over the world for these customers. And when you see that symbol, that will redirect you to the right application over the internet. But I think that if you want some of the screenshots of the apps that I showed you today, the best is to contact us again. So Alison will send you all the contact details, and we'll be glad to send you screenshots or sometimes hyperlinks to the apps so that you can download them yourself.
And the last question is about will be any material for download? So I guess it's more question about the webinar and the material we will give you. So as Stefan just said, we are registering this webinar and we will send it to you.
Yeah, so you'll get the video recording of that seminar as well as the presentation in PDF format. Yeah.
Exactly.
No other question, Alisa?
I don't think so.
Okay.
So thank
So
you.
I,
Oh, just yes, one more. Do we have analytics? Uh,
sure.
yeah.
That's a very good question again. Thank you for asking that. Yeah, with our apps, we provide three different ways to get analytics back on the usage of your apps. We are compliant with Google Analytics as well as Localytics and Pweek as well. So we provide with a sample tagging trees of these main analytic tools. If you have a specific one for your company, for instance, we can also study that integration because we have capabilities to develop, to custom develop and integrate specifically for some customers as well.
Okay. Do not hesitate if you have more question to contact us. You will have our contact in the email we will send to you. Okay, so I think it's okay for today. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you, Stéphane.
Thank you, Alisan, and thank you all for attending and listening to us today. And by the way, I forgot to say that if you want a meeting after this call, after this webinar, we are not only going for partners, but we also travel a lot. So if you want to be in touch with us, we'll be glad to get your contact details, work with you on the phone to start with, and then we can visit you almost anywhere, I would say, in the world, if you want that we study your specific projects.
Okay, thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.